What if someone were trying to get your attention? Would you notice? Would you be too distracted by other things to pick up on the subtle signs? What if it was something important? What if it was something that would change life around the globe? Could you see it? What if they had tried to be subtle for a long time and tried to hint at things without being too apparent? Would you see it? What if they had to resort to other tactics? What if it was so important that they needed to have you pay attention? But perhaps you were too worried about who's in charge temporarily of a government to see what's really coming. Would you wait until it was too late? Would you be that person? In today's video, I'm going to show you what I believe is a warning about something that's coming, and it's something I have been tracking offline. I haven't really talked about it, but there's evidence now that our military and militaries around the world know something they're keeping hidden from the mass populace. Somebody has been trying to warn us, though. Someone has been trying to get our attention and reveal this to us in very subtle ways. These days, it's very difficult to get people's attention for very long. Sometimes you have to resort to tactics like this to get people to stop what they're doing and pay attention. This is a scene from an upcoming movie. It hasn't been released in the United States yet. It's been released in Europe. It's called Greenland. And it talks about a comet that intercepts the planet and causes devastation around the world. One of the fragments of that comet hits Central Florida in the narrative. It's kind of a strange place to pick. Who remembers the graphic that was put out by the Russians with their missiles and them coming down over the United States? They also chose Florida. I wonder if that was a hint. The actress that I've shown here is from Brazil. Her name is Morena Baccarin. She has been in so many different things, it's hard to remember them all. Firefly, Homeland, Stargate, V, all having the same idea, all having the same plot. And now this movie, Greenland, there's more. Deadpool. But there was always this undercurrent. And her being from Brazil, that's where Starship Troopers was set. And that was where they attacked. I don't think this is all some coincidence. Now, what evidence do I have that the military knows about this? About something that's coming? Well, recently we talked about the 6 finalists for the command center for U.S. Space Command. 5 Air Force bases and a very little known Army base called Redstone Arsenal. It's Army Missile Command. Marshall Space Flight Center is there. Now, to my mind, it was next to last on the likelihood of being chosen. How it got this command, there's only one reason. There's only one reason. It's Army Missile Command. Who remembers the game Missile Command from Atari back in the 80s? Where you had 6 cities and you had to defend them? Recently, though, we also talked about these 2 very strange flashes that occurred. Let's see if I can find that here real quick. Yeah, here's the game Missile Command. right here. This is the old Atari one on the left. You had a little cursor that you moved around. These little lines came down, and you had to defend your cities. The one on the right here is the reimagined version for Apple iPhone. But I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with my investigation into this recently. We started this in October. A channel called Dachintz. I hope I get that pronunciation right, guys. It's as close as I can get. Picked up something in the shortwave infrared imagery. And when we plotted these two lines, these strange flashes that occurred over the southern United States. One we tracked from Eglin up to Nashville, and everybody knows recently what's happened up there. And the other one was from Louisiana up to Oklahoma, but we're going to focus on this one because this line goes directly over Redstone Arsenal. It goes directly over it. Let me see if I can find that plot real quick. I'm using my own video here, so just give me 1 second. There we go. 138th Fighter Wing, Oklahoma, Chenault Field, NASA facility. 118th Air Intelligence Wing out of Berry Field, Nashville International Airport. 53rd Weapon Evaluation Group. They basically study shooting things down. That's what they do here. And here they fly drones used for many different things. Now, I learned something about Redstone Arsenal I didn't know in the research for this video, and it's absolutely stunning. It is just beyond the pale. 1 second. There we go. Okay. Redstone Arsenal. Now you can read all about its history. It was part of Operation Paperclip, Army Ordnance Corps. But when you scroll down to Army Missile Command, what they called MICOM, and now they call it AMCOM, Redstone Arsenal today, you ready for this? Redstone Arsenal remains the center of testing, development, and doctrine for the Army's missile programs. Besides the U.S. Army Materiel Command and the U.S. Army Aviation and Missile Life Cycle Management Command, Redstone houses, pay attention, the Tactical UAV Project Office. Tactical Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Project Office. Redstone Test Center, the Missile Defense Agency, and the Missile and Space Intelligence Center. Why here? Why here? Why Missile Command? I think we know. I think we know because you can draw a straight line from what happened in Nashville, Berry Field, that secret facility where they fly the drones. Draw a straight line right through Redstone Arsenal, right down here to Florida. Air Force Special Operations Command. And if you keep going, and this is another video for another day, who remembers the Pentagon that we found on the Yucatan Peninsula? It's literally right in line with it. Right in line. And you can also read about Marshall Space Center, which is located there as well, up in Redstone. The Columbia disaster, the Constellation program. And this is the part that should really frighten you. Deep space astronomy is studied at Redstone Arsenal. The Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope, initially called the Gamma Ray Large Area Space Telescope, GLAST, is an international multi-agency space observatory used to study the cosmos. It was launched 11 June 2008, has a design life of 5 years and a goal of 10 years, which means it should be beyond that. The primary instrument is the Large Area Telescope, which is sensitive in the photon energy range of 0.1 to greater than 300 GeV. I'll try to look up what that means. And can view about 20% of the sky at any given moment. The LAT is complemented by the GLAST burst monitor, which can detect bursts of X-rays and gamma rays in the 8 keV to 3 MeV energy range. I think what they're talking about here is uh, kilo electron volts and mega electron volts. I'm just guessing there, but something like that. Overlapping with the LAT, the GBM is a collaborative effort between the U.S. National Space Science and Technology Center and the Max Planck Institute for Extraterrestrial Physics in Germany. Extraterrestrial physics. This is a lot of evidence, guys. This is a lot of evidence that perhaps there is something so much more important than rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic in DC. So much more important than stopping the commies in China. Something really big might be coming, something that could change the planet. And if you look into the movie Greenland, let me see if I can find the right image here. They talk about the rebuilding of society primarily after it happens. They don't stop it. It actually happens. Florida gets hit by one of the fragments and is completely destroyed. And the way that they rebuild and how they rebuild, there's almost a social justice element to it. And they talk about the inequalities around the world. We see something like this would basically wipe away all inequalities. Everybody would be equally screwed if something like this happened. So if people knew about this, and trust me on this, if people knew about this and didn't want to be outed as trying to reveal it, they would go to Hollywood. They would go to Hollywood and they would start making subtle hints. These days, it's very difficult to get people to pay attention. Trust me, as a YouTube operator, if I told you how this all worked, you would be floored. To get people to get through the algorithms, maintain your platform, maintain your voice, to talk about something that's far, far more important than politics. So I'll leave it there. I'll give you the links. I'll let you look at everything. You can make your own decisions. Put together the open source intelligence, but make plans. Be prepared. Like, share, subscribe.